Welcome back to Washington Watch. I'm your host, Tony Perkins. So glad to have you with us. The website, tonyperkins.com. All right, in moves that would make Ebenezer Scrooge jealous, governors across the country are issuing restrictions on gatherings for Thanksgiving and Christmas. In fact, in some jurisdictions, nobody can gather outside the nucleus of one single family, the nuclear family. There can be no friends over. Some places only maybe 2 family units. So I guess you draw lots to see who gets left out. This is really far-reaching in what they are trying to do. Joining me now to talk more about this, Tyler O'Neill, senior editor of PJ Media, the author of Making Hate Pay, The Corruption of the Southern Poverty Law Center. Tyler, welcome back to the program.
Hey, glad to be here, Tony.
So the Grinch is already working on the holiday season. What are some of these orders being issued by various governors and mayors?
Yeah, so you get across the country. I believe it's New York, Chicago, California, like a whole bunch of governors, and even Pennsylvania. The most infuriating one comes from Pennsylvania, where the governor issued an order that you should wear masks, mandating masks while in your own home. I mean, it's absurd, but over and over, what we've been seeing now as the holidays approach, as the Christmas season is almost here, and Thanksgiving next week, that these governors are issuing restrictions on big family gatherings. And, Governor Gavin Newsom is mandating that, you can't have many people for Thanksgiving dinner, but he just had this big dinner party at, a Michelin star a 3 Michelin star restaurant, the French Laundry, with lobbyists and members of the California Medical Association board. And it's the hypocrisy is just, I have no words.
What is it that's empowering these government officials to restrict? They're pushing restrictions. We're not talking. I know there are businesses that are being shut down. We've got some states that are closing down businesses again. So we see these these lockdowns coming in. But we're talking about in people's homes. We're talking about families. They're restricting what's taking place in people's homes. What is empowering them to do that?
Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, in a lot of these cases, these are guidelines, and they're not actual orders that carry the force of law. But in some cases, they are trying to issue orders with the force of law, mandating what you can and cannot do in the confines of your own home. And there is no. I mean, this arguably violates. I believe it's the Fifth Amendment. It's not. But the amendment that's specifically about not quartering troops in your home, that your home is your own property, and they're railroading it.
This is it's just such government overreach, and I think everybody needs to use good common sense. If you're in a high risk category, you should probably stay home and not invite a bunch of people over to your home. But if you have a family, you're healthy, you're well, you want to take precautions. People want to wear masks, even though we just heard they're ineffective by this Danish study. Do it. But I don't think it's government's business to tell you how you can set your Thanksgiving table, or if you can set it, for that matter.
Well, especially when you have these governors like Newsom who, who don't even follow their own guidelines.
Yeah, the rules are for the peons, not for them.
Well, I think Tucker Carlson said it really well. He said, "What's the lesson here? You know the lesson. If you want to live like a human being, you got to get elected to something, and then you can break your own rules. Otherwise, don't even think about it.
Well, I tell you this, as for me and my house, we're going to have Thanksgiving dinner in the same house, around the same table, without a mask in sight. That's my plan for Thanksgiving. Tyler O'Neill, thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, my pleasure. Thanks, Tony.
All right, Tyler O'Neill, PJ Media. There's another pandemic. I don't have time to talk about this today, but I'm going to spend some time talking about when you look at, there is a pandemic when it comes to sexually transmitted diseases in this country. 20 million new STD cases each year, which cost the public about $16 billion annually. What's the outcry there? And people die from that, too. When you bring that issue up, people say, well, stay out of my bedroom. All right, will you stay out of my dining room? All right? All right, when we come back, Dr. Al Mohler is here with what might be on the to-do list of Joe Biden. And it's not good for those who care about religious freedom. That's coming up next on this edition of Washington Watch. Don't go away.